Clemson, their seniors are 0-3 in bowl games. This is their last chance to win one, and the headline senior is C.J. Spiller, one of the great playmakers in the history of college football. We've got a game filled with playmakers tonight.
And make no mistake about it, the Clemson Tigers, they rely on C.J. Spiller, and with good reason. The All-American can make plays in a number.
Well, that's right. C.J. Spiller is averaging about 5 yards a carry. He has 33 receptions, and he's had to take a shot to deaden the pain in his toe before almost every game down the stretch of this season. Imagine what he could do if he was healthy. And
deferred, so Craig McIntosh kicks off for the Wildcats, and they do kick it to Spiller, who started from the 6. And an eventful return. Clemson history broke all those numbers that you saw as a freshman mark Charlie Whitehurst back in 2002. And they'll begin with 4 wide receivers. High-scoring outfit averaging 32 points per game. And the pitch to Spiller. And he's across the 25. Clemson does it primarily on the ground with Spiller, averaging 88 yards per game. They're in the pistol on 2nd down and 6. And Parker handed it off to Spiller, and he's met immediately by Corey Peters. They want that elusive bowl win. Said the practices were spirited. All the players we talked to said, yeah, they're disappointed not to go to the back in. They hate to lose Spiller, but they feel like his shoes will be filled nicely by Ellington next year. Play action fake by Kyle Parker. Spiller has to use his talents, and he does. Takes off up the sideline, and a great move near the 30. Lost the ball, and Kentucky couldn't recover.
Run people off, and then he's so elusive. Watch the speed. I mean, it's self-explanatory right here, but nice job at the end, coming back and whacking that ball out. I went by the Gaylord Hotels where the teams were, and that place is amazing, off the charts.
McIntosh with his kickoff, returnable for C.J. Spiller. Nice move and a good return, and they want a late hit on the near sideline as he got knocked out around the 37-yard line. Dabo Sweeney in the ear of the officials is not going to get the call. 29-yard return.
Well, you can watch him. He cuts right back inside. He's out right there. And no, that's a good non-call. But I tell you one thing, that you got to get the ball into this guy's hands as many times as you can, in as many ways as you can. And the head coach needs to be reminded of that, and doesn't quite feel he has enough players yet, but he knows he's well on his way.
And back to the pistol. Parker handed it off to C.J. Spiller. Science is the only married player on the team. Second team all-conference. They think he's going to be a pro. Spiller stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
And on the field and you freeze again.
Said the man standing in the booth in front of the heater. C.J. Spiller dropped for a 1-yard loss. C.J. Spiller the only back. 2 tight ends for Clemson. Nice cut. And an 8-yard run for the AC might be a concern, but I think Drew Brees and some are proving that that's tall enough to be effective in the NFL. Nice fake, dumps it off. Spiller in space. Almost found some more space. Tripped up at the 28-yard line.
Sean, that's a perfect example. You said it. Spiller in space. That's what they need to do. They get him outside, and he's dangerous out there. They're just going to slip him down in the flat. He finds him wide open, and then let him use his speed. He's a one-cut guy, but he can accelerate out of his cuts. That's what makes him special.
12-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Clemson.
For the next level. He needs to get a little bigger and stronger, but he's got the tools.
He's a freshman. Spiller finding it tough to find any running room tonight. They'll mark him just shy of the 25, Holly.
After that last reception by C.J. Spiller, he actually motioned to the sideline and took himself out of the game. He's been limping on that right foot, where he's been suffering from turf toe. A lot of people don't really know what turf toe is, but checking in with the trainers, it is a sprain of the MP joint, the metatarsal phalangeal joint. And what happens, it gets hyperextended. So anytime they make a cut, put pressure on it, they really aggravate it, guys. It's difficult to heal, but that's what.
1:35 to go, third quarter. Clemson the ball in a 1-point lead. The pitch to Spiller. And he worked hard for that. Third down and 9. Parker out of the gun. Flips it late to Spiller. Trying to get outside and did, but did not get the first down. In the wind at their backs from their own 38. It's a 1-point lead for Clemson. Opening moments of the fourth quarter. Spiller to the 40. You should have held the ball out further away, because with that wind in your face, it was going to blow the ball back. I don't know. But he said, I did it. And Rich Brooks said, no, you didn't. Spiller.
I don't hear
Kentucky.
Just a nice job. And the guy who did the whole thing on the front end, Crawford, got there.
High formation. And it's Spiller. Turns the corner. Touchdown. C.J. Spiller, the only player in the country in FBS football to score a touchdown in every game this season, and he's done it again.
And that was all Spiller, because he's going to start off following Deal, the fullback, and then it gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and he just redirects and gets around that right side with pure speed.
His 51st career touchdown among active players. Only Tim Tebow has more. An 8-yard run. They capitalize on the first turnover of the night. Both coaches talked about the importance of avoiding turnovers. They've done that well on this windy and chilly night. But McCaskill coughed it up, and Clemson responded quickly. Ricky Lumpkin being helped off the field for Kentucky.
Watch Deal, 17. He makes his break, and you see how everybody's sitting in the hole. Now he just redirects, gets to the outside, and that's just pure speed.
It's also a Clemson record, 14 straight games with at least one touchdown. Coming into tonight, Spiller shared that Clemson record with Travis Zachary. Richard Jackson the extra point, and it's an 8-point lead for Clemson. Spiller and the other seniors for Clemson looking for their first bowl win in their last chance. Back here in the Music City, look down Broadway. Perhaps the best place in the country to experience the best in country music. A lot of clubs, recording studios.
And oh, by the way, there's some good food down there too.
Yeah. 4 great years for C.J. Spiller coming to an end. He finished 6th in the Heisman balloting, but his numbers certainly compare to Heisman Trophy winners of the past. Says a lot of the depth and quality of the Heisman field this year, that Spiller finished 6th, still the best finish by an ACC player since Chris Weinke won in 2000. Looks down there in coverage.
Well, take a good look at C.J. Spiller and what he's been able to do this year, and we knew that on the front end.
Throughout his career, holder 31 Clemson records, 7 kickoff returns, and NCAA record touchdowns. 3rd most all-purpose yards in FBS history. Only Brandon West of Western Michigan, D'Angelo Williams, with more all-time than C.J. Spiller. C.J. Spiller. Spiller, the holder of 31 Clemson records, said all he wanted on his final night in that uniform is a bowl victory for the first time in his career, and he's inching closer to it.
He presses the hole, and then he has Harrison 33 to beat, which he does, and then it's speed. And if Warford doesn't get that ankle right there, he was gone.
He set another mark tonight. He needed 55 receiving yards, which he has. He has 58 to become the first player in ACC history with 1,000 yards rushing and 500 receiving in the same season. Big penalty, 1st and 20 now. Spiller back in. Spiller to the right. You know, he's 195 pounds, and Dabo Sweeney said, you know, he's rock solid 195, but with an eye toward the next level. He can get to 205, 210, still carry and run like the wind. He has never really been through a full season, an off season of a college football weightlifting program, because he's been a track athlete in the off seasons.
And at the next level, he will be a full-time football player, and he will be a full-time weight room guy. But what I like about him, he's not a track guy who happens to be playing football. He's a football player who happens to also dabble in track.
Read it to us. He almost transferred out of Clemson after his freshman year after the loss to Kentucky here. He's glad he stayed, and so are the great Tiger fans. Get the pleasure of watching him carry the ball in that purple and orange for 3.5 more minutes. A big first down for Clemson to the Kentucky 46. 15-yard run. And he's up to 172 yards now.
Oh, Will Sweeney must have been yanking Dad's coat. Tell him, Pop, you need to get the ball in his hands.
172 all-purpose yards. So he's moved up the list past D'Angelo Williams and into second place all time in college football history, behind only Brandon West of Western Michigan.
Well, it was a long shot that C.J. Spiller would ever even play for Clemson. He was so highly recruited, they thought he was out of their league. But a determined wide receiver coach named Dabo Swinney went down and visited him. And right then, he got C.J. to sign on his business card, I, C.J. Spiller, promised to at least visit Clemson in January 2006. Dabo had 2 other kids witness the signature, and C.J., good to his word, came on a visit. He fell in love with the place and shocked everyone when he did come to Clemson. Dabo still has that card on his desk and said it's a good reminder never to shoot too high in recruiting. You can always get the best.
Dabo told C.J. I know from our conversations, and there's Harper, the ball carrier. You're a man of your word. If you say you're going to come for a visit, I know you will. Dabo Swinney has his business card, which C.J. gave back to him, framed in his office. C.J. was very frustrated when they left the Music City Bowl here after 2006, his freshman year, only 5 carries in that game. He thought maybe he'd made a mistake. Thought seriously about going to Florida. He saw the success the Gators were having close to home. But he wanted to live up to his commitment. He's a deeply religious young man.
His athletic skill is only outdone by his character.
We got a standing ovation at graduation the other day. Harper bounces off a hit and converts the 3rd and 2. And that should ice it. And Spiller will get that elusive first bowl win. He'll depart 1-3 in bowl games. Dabo Swinney gets his first win. And a lot of positives on which to build for Coach Swinney and the Clemson Tigers as they head to the future. And Kentucky is going to lose its bowl game.
Kentucky's going to lose the bowl game, Sean, but they've got a lot of good young players.
Crowd been chanting CJ, CJ during the break, honoring the great CJ Spiller. Next time we see him, it'll be in the NFL.
And you'll be able to watch a lot of him. He's got a bright future in the National Football League. He's got a skill set that'll be exploited, and it'll be fun to watch.
Clemson holds 28 years apart at age. 2006, it was an 8-point win for Kentucky over.
Well, guys, we're with a pretty happy C.J. Spiller. Seniors had never won a bowl game. How did you set the tone early in this game as a senior that you were going to go out with the win?
I just told the guys to come out and just have fun. You know, I love all my guys. I thank them for everything that they done. And we just went in halftime. We just said we just needed a couple of stops. And we knew we had a great offense, and we knew that our offensive line was going to start making some great blocks for Kyle to throw the ball downfield and open up running lanes, and that's just what they did the second half.
CJ, you were obviously hobbled by your foot in the second half here, but you weren't going to come out with your pro career ahead of you. Why was this so important for you?
Because I love Clemson too much. I love them too much. I told them I was going to play until I can't play. You're going to have to literally shoot me to get me off the field, and I want to be out there with my guys. And, you know, I owe it to the Clemson family. You know, they supported me throughout my whole career, and I wanted to be out there.
All right, and he was, guys, the first ever bowl win for the senior. C.J. Spiller, thank you very much.
Thank you, Holly.
Played till the last second.